had a really, this would have been 5 years ago, I had a really bad period of burnout where I became tired in the deepest soul, body, mind, spirit sense of tired. And I took 4 months and didn't speak publicly. And my family and I, we moved into this little guest house somebody let us use, and I just needed sort of to leave it all. This was 2008. And what I discovered during that time is that I was living with the expectancy that my job was to get these people that I was leading, I was supposed to get them from here to here. I was supposed to make, whatever it was, these suburban people care about the poor, these people care about loving their, that my job was to get these people from here to there. And that if I could just change them and convince them to go over here, then I would have somehow been successful. And I came to this realization that I had to surrender the outcome. And that the only control I had was over my gratitude that I got to do this and give this gift. And I went through this period, I was pastoring at the time, in which I was like broken of this. And the only thing going forward is to give people the biggest, most generous, joyous gift I can possibly give them. And they may respond and they may not. And they may like me and they may not. And they may change and they may not. And they may care about issue of the day or they may not. And that is out of my hands. And it absolutely changed my life. It changed my life. I think we are in a period of absolutely massive, historic shift and change that none of us can begin to understand just how significant it is. So I would start there. Right around the time that the horse and buggy hit like the best horse and buggies. There's a guy, Henry Ford, in a garage going, I have this idea for a car.
I've heard about him.
So the moment at which something can seem massive, tomorrow everything could change. So what I've met again and again and again and again is leaders who get a paycheck from an institution. And the institution is so far, the institution is in Jerusalem and they're out in Lystra. They're way out in new territory and they're trying to explain the thing they're doing, because if they do it like Mothership says, it just falls flat.
I've heard about that.
And what you're seeing is all of this fascinating, and you could call it experimenting, but when you have the bread and the cup and you're visiting people in the hospital and you're chipping in to make sure somebody gets their rent paid and you're baptizing people in the lake out behind the house, that's not experimenting, that's the thing. So I think what you're having is lots and lots of people are challenging the fundamental nature of what is called church in Western culture. And I think you're seeing a lot of people realize, wow, if I don't get a paycheck and I do some other job, then there is a freedom and a lightness that I have with this, because I can say whatever I want to say and I don't have to worry about losing my job. So I think you're seeing an interesting return to, I work at Starbucks, graphic design, I work in a factory, whatever, and then my friends and I have this thing over here. I think you're seeing more and more of that, and it's fine to get a paycheck, but I think you're seeing people who are realizing I'd rather be free from any of that so that we can really work with this. I think you're seeing a lot of people challenging what exactly do we need for people to really grow, and some of the things that were like, well, you got to have that, people are going, I don't know, do you? And other things that got lost along the way, like the communal meal, are being recaptured. A friend of mine who's here tonight, who's a pastor, where's John? His whole church has a giant meal. Like on a Sunday afternoon, the whole church gets together and has a meal. And things happen. The table is like an altar. Things happen. So you want to come to this church? Great, bring a salad. And it just changes the way that you think about it. And I think lots of people grew up with, well, you go for an hour on Sunday. And I think you're seeing all sorts of, wait. This is a mode, as Peter said, of living. And it It involves every dimension of how we live. I've run into a number of business leaders who are realizing that they cannot keep separate. Like, there is the bottom line, make money, and there is the human flourishing of their employees. And that attending to this human flourishing is actually central to their work.
You mean if you care for your employees?
Yeah, people are
work better?
realizing. I literally have had interactions with business leaders who are like, I'm in this weird territory where I don't like proselytize and I don't push my faith, but my employees, I am trying to create the kind of company where you would go, now this is a Jesus sort of thing happening here, and he says it's unbelievable what is happening, and realizing that this sort of wall that's been erected between people's spirits and their flourishing and their personal lives and their care for themselves and then sort of their work product, is that line doesn't really exist in the end. And so it's a really, really exciting time to be alive.